All right. My timing is impeccable. As soon as my timing, as soon as I left, I went downstairs and my package was there and boom. All right. So that was quick. See, that was like I have this little bit of a inkling, right? I'm like, okay, I gotta go. So now I'm back. Wow. See, and that didn't take very long at all. Just waiting for a delivery. I love it. It's all good. Now let me wet my canvas and we can start doing a painting. All right. So like I'm doing before, I'm just wetting my canvas, wetting it from top to bottom. And then I tell people, yeah, pull a bear in the snowstorm. But this is what I want you to do. I want you to take the painting and flip it over. Oh my God, no, don't flip it over. People. It was funny because they're like, what? What does she mean? Flip it over. That's you flip it over. That way you get like a nice flip of, and then you can decide, if you have like a little bit of impurities on your canvas and you want to use a certain end, you just switch it to the one you want to use. So unfortunately, there's like a staple or something in that bottom corner. So I'm going to use that bottom corner as like the ground, and this top is going to be top there. There we go. All right. So the first thing we do, because it's going to be a night scene, you're going to have some nice dark color to start with. So we're going to start off with a nice little bit of, and see, I've got my palette all set up now. The only thing I'm probably missing is some regular yellow, and I'm going to just grab myself. Smells like sulfur, looks like farts. If farts had a color, this is what a fart would be. Ooh, yeah, stinky. Okay, I'm going to put it next to the gold and the black, because yellow and black are fantastic together. They're such a great color scheme together, I think, anyways, for those bright, and then it turns into like a green color when you mix them together, kind of. And like an olive green, though. Not so much a bright, brilliant green, unless you just take yellow and blue and put them together, and then you've got green, right? But orange is my favorite color. Orange is like the one that I enjoy. And maybe we'll make it an orange seascape. Maybe oh yeah, I said I want to make it a night scene, didn't I? I love mixing colors, though. I could do, I could even make it into something a little bit of half and half. Okay, and you know what? Maybe that's what I'll do. Make a little bit of like the sun going down, but a little bit of dark coming up across the top. Okay, that's what we'll do. All right, so I'm going to start off with my big one. Oh, wait a minute. That's what I did to wet the canvas with. Now I'm going to switch brushes, because I like to switch up brushes when I can, to show you that there is like a difference. You can always play around with things, So here we go. So first thing we're going to do, because of all the colors on my palette, we start with the light ones. So yellow is where we're going to start with, and we'll start from the bottom. Well, we won't start from the bottom. I will kind of do the rule of thirds, which if you haven't heard of the rule of thirds, here's a thing. I've taken photography, and the rule of thirds usually means when you're making a picture, it actually puts it into an interesting view for the eye. You are actually breaking it into. You remember when you were a kid and your teacher would tell you to fold your paper into like make 6 squares, and then you can make like little things in each square, that kind of thing. Well, it's the same kind of thing, but you keep it into a theory where whatever is very much dynamic, you want that to be in the center or off center. Off center is even better, because it actually plays with the eye. It makes you actually want to follow where it's going to. So what I usually do is, like, say, the rule of thirds. So instead of making all sea one side, or all sea one side and all sky one side, we kind of make it a little bit lower, a little bit higher. So if you want to see more sea and less sky, but we want to see more sky and less sea. So we're going to put it like at this part, okay? Like I say, it makes the eye kind of go, ooh, right? And it's a very brilliant color, yellow. So it doesn't mix with any other color. Sorry, I got to take a look, because sometimes when you have something that's on the brush already and you add something else to it, sometimes the color comes off and makes it into a different color. So I just want to see that it isn't turning, and it's turning green. So just give me a second. I'm going to rinse out that brush and switch to a different brush that doesn't have any colors on it. Haha. That are blue. Blue is one of those colors too that they stick to everything. The blue is like a stain. The blue stains, put it that way. Yeah, if you get blue on your pants, if you're wearing jeans, that's one thing. But if you're wearing something that's a different color, you get blue on it, it's not coming out. Put it that way. We always try to make it nice. Oh, no, yeah, if you try, eventually it may fade. But blue is one of those things that it's a nice stain, and it really doesn't come out of anything. So, anyways, okay, so we're gonna get the yellow color going again. Let me see if I can find another. I got more brushes for that. Let me try. On it. There, dig a little deeper, Kimmy. Dig a little deeper. What is this? It's got green. Okay. How about that one? You know, it might be the same style of brush, but at least it's got red on it instead, and it's better than blue. Okay, dip it in the water. Dip it into your paint. Make a little spot on the side to kind of mix all your paints together. A lot of people like to go right into the paint that they're using and mix it all together, and that way, but when you do that, now you've mixed it all and made it mucky and dirty, and you can't go out and switch it up. So always grab a little bit of something and leave yourself a little spot to just do mixing, because that's important. So yellow to start though, and we're just going to go with a third of the page. So we're just going to go, say right about there. There, right there. I love watching Bob Ross. Bob Ross always had some really cool stuff. And I watched this guy called John Ross. John Ross usually calls the yellow, calls the paints different names that have to do with whatever problems are in the world. Like COVID yellow or, you know, whatever. But I'm not going to play with those kind of things. I'm not going to make fun. That's nothing to make fun of. All right. So, and now we're going to just eke it up into this guy. Now, I notice... It's none of my doing, but for some reason, it's got little spots coming up all by itself. I'll show a little light over here. Maybe you can see a little bit better. No, you can't. No, you can't see that. Well, it's yellow anyways. It looks like there's clouds already, so it's like it's already forming its own cloud thing going on here. So, hey, I'm not going to stop it. Just go with it. And the water's going to be down here. Yeah, I said I'm going to make a night scene, but I can always make a night scene another time, right? Let's play with this a bit and add some other colors into it. All right, so dip my same brush into my water again. If you got paper towels, you can use paper towels too. I sometimes have old rags and stuff that I use to kind of wipe everything off with, and I see what I can find nearby to wipe it off. There we go. That didn't have a phone number or anything on it, did it? No. Oh, yes. Nothing serious. It's just my family lineage. Nothing serious. No, trust me. Okay. All right, this is looking nice so far. Nice little bit of yellow, and it's good when you're looking at this. You know. Make sure to always keep in mind if you have an idea of what you want to see. But sometimes you can just make it your own world, like Bob Ross says, and just play with it a bit, right? Okay, so now we play this game I call Don't Touch the Yellow. And what I do basically is I'm going to take my... I have to find a paper towel. Because, yeah, that unfortunately has some interesting stuff on it. Because, yeah, let me just tuck that aside somewhere. Maybe I might end up in the garbage one day, but not right now. Okay, I gotta find a paper towel. Or, oh, there's one. Okay. And we're just gonna switch. We don't have to actually change brushes right yet. But if you want to change brushes, you're more than welcome to change to whatever colors you want or whatever brush you want. But okay, so we got this guy going, and now we're going to add another color to it. We're going to add some red. So we're going to dip the red, just the tip, just a little bit, because a little bit goes a long way. So a little bit of red there. or I like to call it, it's magenta actually. Magenta, and a little bit more scoop of yellow in there too, and make a nice orange. Oh, it's a beautiful orange color. Okay, I'm gonna dip my brush one more time, make it a little bit more wet. I'm going to apply it to my canvas. Now, it's going to start a little bit lighter there, because the sun will probably be, the sun is going down, so we'll kind of get to kind of start about here. And don't be afraid of it. So crisscross shapes, crisscross applesauce, right in the middle of that, and go nice, and make your way down. Make your way down towards the yellow down at the bottom, and then you can go back up again. Mix that up in there. Gets rid of the clouds or adds more clouds to it. We'll play the do not touch the yellow in a second. But we're adding a little bit more color into there. We're going to have such a nice little background. There we go. And add a little bit more red. A little bit more red. All right. My timing's impeccable, I know that. And we're going to do a little bit more here. And I'm just going to go down a little bit. I'm going to start. The thing about the water and your color is it'll start to blend. And make it really nice. I used to watch people when I would do my paint nights and how they would tackle just getting the paint on the canvas, and it was kind of an interesting way to see how people do stuff. And it gives yourself ideas for how to do things too. That's part of the reason I love doing videos is I see the way people do stuff, and I'm like, oh, maybe I can try to do that too. Make it maybe my own kind of thing, right? Yeah. Okay, so next layer, I'm going to add a little more red, so it's going to get a little bit more orangey. And go up a little bit higher, and let it come down. So I'm going to go up with a little bit more red. It looks so nice. Let's see. It's going to blend. But you let it blend until you're happy. Don't go too crazy. Go down too low, and then have it all kind of just have it so this fades nicely, right? There we go. And add some more red. A little dab at a time. Add it into the yellow-red mix that you've made. And make it a little bit more redder as you go, kind of thing. Go up higher with a little bit more red. And then come down and blend it. Crisscross applesauce. I love when I can make things blend so nicely. Yep. Okay. Next, we're going to do this nice little top around here. So, play it up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to make it red, and then it's going to come down, and it's going to come into a nice. See, orange and blue look so good together, and especially when you have, you can even make like a little sun in there if you want to. The sun doesn't have to necessarily be way down there. You could have it so the sun is like still setting in the sky, and the sky is just reacting to the sun going down. I was trying something. It always is good to experiment. It's your world, right? You do what you want. Nice blend. All right. Now, you're going to take a little bit of blue on the top, and we're just going to go and make our way down. Only so far, though. We're not going to go crazy with it. Just a little bit. I'm going to rinse my brush out, and I'm going to go into dab it off on my paper towel. So it doesn't look good. It doesn't have the blue and yellow mixing together to make what color? Yeah, we don't need have a green. We don't need green. We have a nice blue. So Let me see. Yeah, got one of my hairs on there. My hair goes everywhere. Okay, so a little bit of blue, a little bit of blue on the tip there. Find a spot maybe next to the blue. Add a little bit of water, just on the tip there. And we're just going to go across the top, and it might turn everything a little bit of a purple, but that's what we want to. It's an interesting blend. We won't play with it too much though. I have to see how it turns out without having to muck up the colors too much. I said muck. Get your face out of that mask. There. And we can also apply the blue to the bottom because the blue is also going to be in the sea there too. But, and so what we'll do, this is why I always had fun in my classes, because we're like, you want me to do what? Flip over your canvas. Don't be afraid. Flip your canvas over. There we go. See? See, now you're frightened, aren't you? Okay, so we're going to take some of that blue again. But maybe we'll take some of that light blue. Light blue, maybe. And then we can add in some of that dark blue, too. So we'll take a big scoop of I got light blue right here. So I'll take a scoop of light blue here. And let's get some dark blue in it. That's okay. We'll make for a nice little blend. Blend it back and forth. Again, using crisscross applesauce shapes. Blue. And try not to touch the yellow too much. There we go. Very nice. Alright, so it's a nice blend. So what I want you to do is flip your canvas back over, and we're going to let that dry a little bit. Ooh. Kimmy. She's always up to something. Now while we're letting that dry, we also can do some interesting things with the background and using your paper towel. And I've already started kind of something with it because I accidentally put my finger on my canvas. So use your paper towel and make yourself some clouds if you want to. It's a perfect way of doing it while the canvas is still kind of wet. Because you never know what you can come up with. And as well, there we go. You know, you can keep playing with it, make all kinds of clouds. And just using paper towel, something as simple as that. Make some bold ones too. You can remove the paint if you want to. Have spots where there's some light coming through the clouds. And maybe even make a sun. So let's see. I have sun here. All right. So, where would the sun be? Maybe farther down. That. Or it could even be, let's make that, well, of course, you don't want it to be quite in the middle. But what would I think? This side or this side? Maybe here? Maybe. Hmm. I'd say I can even go a little bit lower. That's good. Decisions. I know. It's like, where to put it. Okay. But anyways, I'll say my finger. I'm going to dampen my finger. I'm removing paint. Make sure I don't have any paint on there. There we go. So you dampen your finger with a little bit of water. And I say I'm going to make the sun, say right here. I'm going to take a cloud and I'm going to make it into a sun instead. Little circle. Water removes paint. There you go. There's your sun. And then you can add some clouds into that if you want to. You can take some clouds through. It's a hazy day. Okay, let's see. Maybe that's more fun from here. There we go. It's just little bits of ideas. You can always start adding stuff into the clouds too. You could even put like, oh gosh, man, the ideas that are coming to me are just incredible. But neither here nor there. I'm going to take my next one is going to be my little pointer brush. No, this is a good one to call it. It's a round. I think it's like a number 2 round. And I'm just going to make a nice little thing across there. Yeah. And I just noticed that thing right across here. So you know what? I can go. I'm going to take first a different brush that has some blue on it, which is just something simple, just like that. With blue, a little bit of black in it too. Get a nice dark blue. And we'll go across the top there. A little bit. So that you can't use your fingers too. I use my fingers when I paint as well. That's like your secret weapon is your paint, as your paintbrush is your finger. So Well, that looks neat. That looks kind of cool. There we go. Just for some nice, different look, you know, just a little bit of something. Yeah. Because again, this is not, doesn't have to be anything in particular. This is your world to play with, and I'm just doing it for reference sake myself. And with the same dark blue, now I'm going to switch over to this nice little one here, like I talked about earlier, and just play with my horizon line. Make my horizon for my sea down at the bottom here. It's nice light blue. I love when little anomalies come into play. Let me just get this little spot here. Yeah. Just taking it, I'm just, again, just crisscrossing back and forth along the bottom. And I got my nice horizon line for my beautiful sky. All right, so that's a good start there. There we go. So you can keep your nice horizon line if you want to, or you can add, or you can put a ship in there if you wanted to. And let's just a little bit of the sky over there. Bob Ross says this is your world. You can play with it as much as you want. You can make it the way you want to see it. Mm-hmm. And the sun's right here, so it's right there, right? All right, and so and you just kind of, it's got like a nice flow going to it. So you see the sun there. Kind of want to see like something coming over here. So obviously, it's got to go right in this area over here. It's kind of, no, maybe on this side, because this side got this over here. We're going to kind of bounce it out with something over here. So what I can do, and there's many different things you can do. You can make it, you could put a ship there or something if you wanted to. You can make somebody sitting there. There's many things you can do, and make sure that there isn't anything else attached to it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're going to take a little white and we're going to make some more with the clouds. The clouds are always fun to play with and always good to learn about. So let's switch up our brush. We can even use something that Bob Ross likes to use with acrylics. You can, for oils, you can also use acrylics for this. Here you go. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's my nice fan brush. Fan brushes are beautiful. I love fan brushes for being able to make some nice, beautiful. Well, let me show you. I dip it in the white, just on the tip there. Some there. So now these clouds up here. Touch with the white in different areas. So it gives it like. Of course, I'm touching too hard. I touched too hard. Good. We can see. A bunch of clouds. I feel like a little reflection. Yeah. That's not a bit more. That may be too much over there. I can probably get rid of that, but that's not too bad. And of course, it goes onto the water too. There we go. And if I wanted to, I could really, I can use my finger. Make sure there isn't any other paint on your finger when you do this. You can blend it all back in again. And then, if you have to, remove more paint. That kind of thing, which is kind of cool. Let's see what I can produce like this. Sometimes if you put too much on, it gets to be, shouldn't do that. There's also put that underneath there. You can do something here. Oops, a little too dark. Yeah, usually I listen to music while I'm doing this too. So you get inspired by listening to music and going with it too. Let's just grab some white here on my pinky. And I'll just make this a little bit brighter. There we go, so you can see a little more. And up with the clouds. So get a little bit of clouds around there. This is where it gets interesting. Mhm. A little blending, so it doesn't look like it's kind of, yeah, that was better. All right. And of course, the piece will probably be putting in a nice ship, but I also want to put a little bit of stars in the sky too. So I'm going to still use the same little, because this brush is also good for making little dots. And you can draw anywhere too. Here's one Edison. Yeah. I don't know if you know, there's a lot of stars in the sky. Lots of stars. When you go up north, you see all kinds. You realize how many stars are really out there. You think they're like, oh, there's billions of stars inside that we don't see. Inside there. So this is a nice evening scene. Obviously, sun is going down. So we can see some shore over here if you want. But I think I want to put something on there. I think I want to make maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll make a ship on the water. Sounds nice, yeah. Nice ship on the water. And let me just, should I just do it in black like a silhouette? Yeah, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Because I can always add to it afterwards. So I'm going to take another brush. A nice one, a nice skinny little edge there. All right. Get into the details. This is where the fun comes, right? Devils in the details. I always have problems when it comes to details. All right. So we are going to make a ship in the water. I'll show you how good I am at making a ship in the water. First, make sure it's nice and thin. Hold on to your elbow if you have to steady yourself. be patient with yourself when you're doing the details, because it's something that, sometimes you get one shot at it, and then if you don't do it, it's like, no. But it still turns out pretty good, because it's all about patience. Patience and time. Time and patience. Okay. Let's see. Keep it simple at first, and then we're going to add stuff to it after. You start off with triangles. But this is the first, kind of, you're making like an arrow kind of pointing down into the water. Just like that. And this is where the triangles come in. So here's where you make nice triangles. Bear with me. Make sure you get a nice split. Like I say, hold on to your arm, and you can use your wrist. It's all in the wrist. Right here. You can play with the boat shape afterwards more, but you get the sails on, and you can even paint your sails afterwards too. Baby. Okay. All right. So there's one side of it done. I'm going to do the other. Again, just using a straight line. You can even put your pinky on your canvas if you need to study yourself a little bit better, which is what I'm doing. Real simple. Yeah. And very simple, very easy, a lot of fun. Little flag on the water. Probably I usually have the tendency to have it blowing in the wrong direction. But, he's sailing off the canvas. Off the canvas. Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty. All right, and you can add some more things to it, seagulls. Reflection 2. Mhm. If we get lucky, we might not have to come back. Just hop on board the ship, travel wherever you please. Maybe never have to come back. I tried to escape once. Too many responsibilities, though. And when you finally get to the point where you like your painting, you can add, like I say, I got some gold on here. And there's nothing wrong with, adding some neat little things to your ship if you want to. You can put um, you can put gold in the water too if you want to. Get a little gold in the water, sparkly. That looks nice actually. Yeah, we're accepting for some things too. Mhm. Gold in the pan. Yeah, like the gold with more talent. That's what I hope you get to see. Yeah, gold on the sails. Have a little reflection off of the sun into the black sails of the ship. That looks nice too. Black gold. Black gold? Is there such thing? Yeah, it's called gold. That kind of looks nice, actually. The golden one. Those like wild details on there where you can't really see a lot, but it looks like detail. Gold. Love gold. Must be the Dutch in me, right? I'm a Dutch painter. Ah ha ha. That's correct. I am a Dutch painter. Yes. Okay. And of course, the last thing to do, the last formal thing to do is to sign your painting. And I use the tiniest brush I can possible. And I'll dip it into my black. Quick lunch for my handsome man. I like to have him come home and give me some lunch. Well, anyways, I'm going to sign it down here, bottom right-hand corner. Tasters time! Woo! Okay. Overhaul 21. I remember being 21. That was fun. I remember 22. That was pretty fun too. 22 was the best. I can't wait for 2022. And so here's a little idea. It's my own little idea. Again, you can do your own thing. Oh, that I can keep on adding to it. Like I can do, take that little tiny brush still and take a little white. Give a little motion to the ship. Give it some, show that it's moving in the direction. See, do that. Get a little more white into your. Make the white a little bit whiter here too, if you want to. I love the sun. So beautiful. Anyways, there you go. Thank you for tuning in. And if you learned anything from this, I appreciate you learning. And if you didn't, that's okay too. I appreciate you watching. So it's very simple, easy, and it took less than half an hour to do, really. I just yammer on. It takes an hour. If I keep talking, that'll take all day. So I hope you have a good one. And I will talk to you later. Ciao for now. And yeah, I love you guys.